Hi guys, welcome to our final video in Bill Murray week, and also day 25 of 100 movies in 100 days. Today I see it's a rather special day, so I decided instead of doing the usual fare in terms of movies, as we've spent most of this week looking at Wes Anderson films, to do something different. I wanted to look at Murray in animation, and what a great way to portray the guy in animation and to look at him in Garfield. Now, everyone knows Garfield. He was a cat that was created in the early 80s and 90s, and prior to, like, say, comics like The Simpsons, Family Guy, Garfield was literally a cat that just hated Mondays. He started as a comic book strip, and then went into a collection of books before being thrown out into a brand of his own, collecting billions and billions of dollars each year, as, you know, Jim Henson has licensed him into everything. Jim Henson is the owner and control of the Garfield brand, and still releases a cartoon series that's been shown on Cartoon Network's Toonami series, I believe. That might be wrong about that, but he's a very loved and appreciated icon. And when they were saying that they were going to actually bring Garfield to the live TV screens, we never knew that someone could actually portray the cat in the same vein as he was portrayed in the cartoons previously. But then, they managed to cast Bill Murray. Even though the movie managed to make its budget back with more than 200 million, the film was kind of critically panned by everybody because they didn't feel that it lived up to the standards of the animated series or the comic strip in general. And let's get to the cat who's basically living. Garfield, a fat cat who's living with his owner Jon Arbuckle, spends his time by harassing Jon and basically making fun of the neighbour's Doberman, when Garfield maintains an unlikely friendship with a mouse and has a romantic interest with a cat named Arlene. Meanwhile, a local television host, Happy Chapman, known for his cat Persnickety, who is jealous of his brother Walter J. Chapman, wants to outwit him while performing on a TV show called Good Day New York. Jon has made a habit of bringing Garfield to a local veterinarian, who's played by none other than Jennifer Love Hewitt. Jon tries to ask Dr. Liz out, but then, in a huge misunderstanding, he's in custody of a stray dog. This dog is someone who Jon then grows fond of, but Garfield intimidates and tries to bully, until it's found that the dog can actually do tricks and dance around while listening to Black Eyed Peas music. Odie is then brought to a local talent show where Garfield gets him out of loads of funny little situations, gets him into the centre where he starts dancing to a song called Hey Mama. His impromptu performance is here, and Happy Chapman tries to steal the puppy in hopes that he can actually do things for himself and overshadow his own brother. He tries at first to offer Jon a television deal for Odie, leaving him to eventually kidnap the dog for his own purposes, realising that Jon won't give up the puppy without a fight. After Garfield causes a huge mess in their house, Jon puts him outside and Odie comes to comfort him because, you know, and as in the comic strip, Odie's his friend, he likes. Garfield reacts by being a bully and locking Odie outside. Odie then runs away and has been picked up by an elderly old woman, and then distraught Jon goes out to find him and talks to Liz, trying to find where Odie has gone. While the neighbourhood animals ridicule Garfield for what he's did, trying to give him a conscience here, Chapman and his assistant find a lost dog, found poster, and then goes to Mrs. Barker's to retrieve Odie. He then realises what Odie's potential could be and tries to train him to do other tricks. When Garfield sees Odie on television and hears Chapman announce that he and Odie are going to New York, Garfield realises how selfish that he is and then vows to intervene. Chapman puts a secure collar on Odie, and this collar basically forces Odie to do tricks when an animal control officer then gets in tow with Garfield, tries to snag him, as Garfield doesn't have a tag because he's fat. Garfield is then sprung from the pound after being captured, and then goes in pursuit of Odie once again. And Persnickety was the one that released him and goes with Garfield to go in pursuit of his former owner. Persnickety's real name is Roland, or Sir Roland, yes. Chapman boards a train with Odie in the luggage car, and Garfield goes in pursuit. Garfield sneaks into control room in an attempt to stop the train and help Odie. Chapman then notices him, walks out and gives chase. Chapman then threatens Odie with a shot collar, but is greeted by tons of pound animals, led by Sir Roland, who is his former cat Persnickety. They swarm and attack Chapman, while Garfield and Odie make their way. They find that they manage to come in contact with Jon, who then punches Chapman for stealing Odie. Chapman is then arrested due to his involvement with the trains and also with abducting Odie. Wendell then gives chase to the cops. Garfield then gains his trusted animal friends, and everybody's happy as the story wraps up into a nice little package. Garfield learns the whole friendship thing, while Jon finally has his life with Liz, because they're now dating. I'll be smashed. He then shoves Odie off the chair repeatedly because it's fun. And the film closes with Garfield singing to James Brown's I Got You. Feel good. He does the splits and gets back up without help. Oh yeah. That's pretty much it. In terms of acting, it's, you know, as I said, this is a Bill Murray vehicle. The cat Garfield is what this film is about. They try to revolve a little story, a very simple story about Garfield having a new pet, getting jealous, and then having this whole scenario developed around it. Where we basically know about Odie. We've seen it in the cartoons, how Odie comes to be and how Garfield gets annoyed with Odie. It's pretty much the same story apart from the addition of the guy kidnapping him, etc. In terms of what this movie is, it was good for what it is. It's a children's movie. Of course it's going to be panned by adults and, you know, and reviewers and stuff because they have no freaking clue. If kids like it, which my kids do, of course it's going to be a great film for them. They're going to enjoy themselves. It's something that I feel, even though Murray's been attached to it, it's something he hasn't explored before, and I think it was a great, decent job he did at imitating the voice that Garfield had before, which, quite funnily enough, was played by the same gentleman who played Peter Venkman in the Real Ghostbusters series. There you go. So it has a nice little tie-in there. So he played two roles which Murray actually played at the big screen. Is this movie something worth for you to go and see? Well, I'll give it my rating now and tell you. Between a 1 and a 5, I give this movie a lovely, snuggly 3. Reason being, it's not my cup of tea. It's something that I would probably watch if I was prompted to by my children. But at the same time, it's not something that I myself would go out of my way to watch in general as a Murray movie. It's fun. It's good for the whole family, and it's exactly what it was supposed to be. Just a funny little small comedy. Anybody who gets upset about this movie and feels like it's not what it's supposed to be and they've raped my childhood, you really need to think. Because this day and age, things are supposed to be released in terms of quality for children, and this was focused on children. You've got movies like Hop which do the same thing. You've got Disney movies that do the same thing. There's only very rarely that a movie would actually hit the adult heartstrings as well as the child. Like, for instance, Toy Story, Wreck-It Ralph, to name a few. You're not looking at this type of movie to be something that adults would like. But in a sense, it did its job, and it did its job rather well, spawning a sequel which was just terrible. But we won't go into that, and that's pretty much the end of Bill Murray week. So guys, you don't have to go to Twitch TV anymore to see me play Ghostbusters. I'll be uploading every single clip from the Ghostbusters video game playthrough, from the first to the last clips, on YouTube for you guys to watch and see me do as you would do. And leave a comment, like, subscribe, let me know what you think of this review, and what did you think of Bill Murray Fortnite? Was it a good Fortnite? Did you like it? Did you enjoy yourselves? Did you think it was awesome? And tell me what you think of Moviefiles 100 Movies in 100. And last but not least, I'm also going to be talking about the winner of our competition for Blaze Blue in my next video. So check that out, guys, and I will see you again for another Moviefile, where day 26, I believe, will see me review the movie This Is the End. So see you then.
The kind that drives the blues away. Bouncing off of the walls, hanging on by the claws. Just another crazy day.